Gordon, fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the LA Chargers as they get set to square off against the Cleveland Browns. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback out of North Carolina State. It's Phillip Rivers.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. With that, let's check out how the Chargers line up on offense.
I have to admit, I've rather enjoyed watching Melvin Gordon's improvement as he's developed as an NFL player because it started for me in college. Every year he was in school, he would add something extra to his game. First year, he knew how to run. He wanted to add pass receiving to his game. The next year, he wanted to add pass protection to his game. Did all of that. That turned him into a first-rounder, and now a front-line NFL back.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A Charger first down. Rivers hooking up with Allen.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Here's Gordon. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop. So back-to-back plays here where he couldn't get anything on the ground. Now you face a 3rd and 10 and assume you're going to try to pass it, right?
I would think so, because you've tried to run the ball, and really it doesn't matter who got the ball on the play because there was no space to go. So I think you step back, throw the ball to try and pick up the first down.
Hunter Henry brings it in. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Rivers looking for Allen. He's got him on his slant. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball is thrown. I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? The first down throw here for Rivers. And caught by Henry. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
How about this opening drive? Play number 12 now. This is third down. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And they'll get him down right around the 16. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
All right, here we go. Blue landed! Blue landed!
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
Let's spotlight Odell Beckham Jr., who had a 1,000-yard season his first year in the league, despite not playing a full season, and that announced his presence with authority. How about this? The former cover athlete from Madden NFL 16, he's done nothing but pile up 1,000-yard seasons since.
Here we go now. Blue landed! Blue landed! 59, Mike is 59. Mike is 59.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on fourth down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on fourth down here early in the game. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still 2nd down.
A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6.
Hurry up, here we go.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. In for the score. And the Browns have taken the early lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Ready, 390.
They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out.
Left.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss.
I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Nice move at the 40. Still fighting for more. Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Well, he tried to bounce it outside, but that's obviously not his game. He's too much of a straight-line runner.
Yeah, him in the outer third of the field, not a recipe for success. That time a loss.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
The give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball and where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First down, he'll drop to throw. That's Njoku over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
He's got his tight end, Njoku. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. It's the fullback with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
I like a fancy playbook as much as anyone, but sometimes, certain situations, they just call for doing the basics.
That's what they did. Gave it to the big boy, and he got in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when they clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar. On that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Travis Benjamin that time. And it's 3rd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Ready?
On 1st and 10, Rivers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling.
Red!
Rivers on 1st down. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. To the air again here, Rivers. Henry's got it out on the left side. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And that is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And wow, the fair catch was signaled for and taken inside the 5-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Give, this is their fullback. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with third down and just a yard to go. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 87 yards. And the Browns add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now the extra point try forthcoming. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And we spotlight Keenan Allen as he gets set to go back to work. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. An excellent way to start the drive there. 18 yards. Rivers now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Rivers now from the 50. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry. And now it's 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On 2nd down, Rivers again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Here you go, man.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Red. Set. 180.
Rivers now to throw on 1st down. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He hit his first, this one from 38. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute. But first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll begin with as good a rivalry as there's been the last decade or so. Baltimore playing host to their AFC North rivals, Pittsburgh. And it's the Ravens out in front as that game moves towards halftime. Lamar Jackson with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Devontae Freeman with 2 touchdowns there. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital. See what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And you can see they trail the visiting Buffalo Bills in that ball game. The Bills still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. As his guys are in for 6, and the Browns add 6 to their lead. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And they open the lead up now to 25. So he takes it from 2 yards deep all the way down the field into the other end zone. Add it all up, 102-yard return on the kickoff. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Michael Kendricks coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. It'll be a gain of 9, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Cut! Block 15! And cut!
Play fake. Rivers. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on to punt for L.A. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense is going to take over at their own 20-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. 44 Mike. Check. Hot.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll rifle this. He's got him in. Complete. He's at the 30. 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Browns are pouring it on. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half. Not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a play, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. They juked him. And there he goes again. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. In for the score. And the Browns continue to roll. What a risk he took, but it paid off. I mean, he took that punt from inside the 5 near the goal line, ran it all the way back.
And normal coaching says you let that one go. Anytime you're inside the 10-yard line, you let it hit and hopefully bounce into the end zone. But as you mentioned, he took a risk, And boy, did it pay off in a big way. I wonder if they let up a little bit going downfield, thinking that there was no way he was going to return that one.
No problem there on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. From the gun, Rivers. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Brian Bonnie Calhoun. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Allen, the intended receiver.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Carry here for their fullback. Powers through him. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. That good for 22 and a first down.
Our eyes and attention are on the fullback. Big-time carry, big yardage. But how about the guys up front, the offensive line? A lot of people think they may have to block it differently for the fullback to get big yardage. They really don't. Because he's big, strong, and powerful, a lot of times he makes his own way. They may not have to block as hard.
Back to throw now on first down. And this is caught at the 8. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touch. Down catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. Now the Browns offense will stay on the field as they'll go for 2 here.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is...
And now look at him go. 30, past the 20. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
First down, Rivers. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Brian Body Calhoun. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
3-19!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And he's into the clear. The 40, the 30, 10, and he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. It's their quarterback taking it goal line to goal line, 100 yards. And the Browns are pouring it on.
As more and more up-tempo football creeps into the NFL game, some coaches don't think time of possession matters anymore. I believe we found one of them.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Benjamin with it over the middle. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On third down, this is Melvin Gordon. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. He's at the 30, the 20, 10, and he's in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers are able to get a score back. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on third down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open. Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Back-to-back good plays, have them all on the move on first down.
Now let's go.
They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
All right, here we go.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. To the right side and complete to Njoku. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Shifts by at the 15. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. Powerful running. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal.
Now, that was a good job by the defense swarming to the football. And you know it's no cinch that you're going to be able to get the ball into the end zone against them. They're number 2 against the run. So what's an offensive coordinator do?
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. It's their quarterback scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Browns continue to roll. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be taken about the 12. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Rivers now on second down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Henry. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. A first down throw here for Rivers. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
Strong running there, gets this up over the 15-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he spins past him and into space. And down he'll go at the 25. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Bulldozes past him, and he powers his way up past the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Now there's a good chunk of yardage picked up there, and the big fella, sometimes he doesn't need a whole lot of space created. He can make his own way.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now back to throw, escaping the pressure right. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. He'll look to throw, being chased out left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Time for a break. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Stops short of the 25. The nice move couldn't ultimately free him. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And an alley to run. And they'll get this down to the 10. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. Flush to his right. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll drop the throw. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They'll come up now, 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Delta!
Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves. But they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now Rivers, and his throw is incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. On 3rd down, Rivers. Open man, it's Allen. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts.
Personal foul.
And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Browns, The train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this game.
My have an all-white rank. Couldn't hit if it had ain't. Lanes can't call and you lame.